Every time I say we're done with Tiffany Henyard, we're done with Dalton, we're done with Thornton Township of Thornton, I'm wrong. Today, feds expand the probe of Tiffany Henyard into Thornton Township, Illinois. Thought they already covered Thornton, but I guess not. I guess it was just the village of Dalton. We've got this and a bunch of other updates. Nothing major, but this storyline just keeps a-going. Let's get into it. Here we go.
And the federal investigation into embattled South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard is
in battles.
Sources tell us tonight the FBI is now looking into how taxpayer money was handled in Thornton Township. Supervisor, at least for a few more weeks. Henyard has been a no-show for every Thornton meeting for months, and it was no different tonight. Our Jermont Terry is live in the South suburbs with what he's learned. Jermont?
Joe and Erica, tonight, multiple sources confirm that federal agents have in fact ventured here into Thornton Township. In the past 3 weeks, they have talked to several current and former employees of the township, all talking about the spending associated with Henyard's administration and her time as supervisor, a tenure which comes to an end in May.
Any further discussion? If not, call roll, please.
Tuesday night, Thornton Township trustees carry
Carry
on official business without the lame duck supervisor, Tiffany Henyard. Despite Henyard's term coming to an end next month, she remains MIA for her position.
What?
Remember when the last time was?
Yet over the weekend, Henyard did show her face to hand out food boxes to residents for the Easter holiday.
Thank you so much for loving on me. This is not.
And the food boxes weren't authorized. The one thing she does it wrong. Just this woman can't get anything right. OnlyFans, watch out. Tiffany Henyard's coming for you. The Tiff, $3.99, and you can see it all per month.
Your super mayor, Tiffany Henyard. I got bigger and better things coming.
CBS News Chicago, through multiple sources, confirmed the feds have come into Thornton Township. The FBI was already looking into Dalton finances spending, and now the probe, according to sources, have spilled over into the township where Henyard was appointed.
There's probably more gone than we think is gone.
Mary Avant is a newly elected trustee and will be sworn in next month. She's not at all surprised the feds are now widening the investigation to the township Henyard oversaw. What is your thoughts and concerns when you hear that federal agents are now talking to Thornton Township employees?
I'm actually pleased with it.
Township brawl when Henyard jumped in the middle?
Yes.
There's new fallout. The activist and his friend are now suing the township. The two fought with Henyard and her boyfriend, who was a township employee at the time. Tuesday night, the trustees voted.
That was a solid brawl, though. I mean, that had some action to it, right? Tiffany Henyard just jumping in there, losing her shoe. I think her wig came off. Just a bunch of guys, one guy up by the big screen TV. That was some real chaos. I mean, that's made for TV, it's made for YouTube entertainment.
To hire an attorney to represent the township.
At the time, she was a supervisor. She is the supervisor today. So once again, it's just to protect the township. You know, she still is, as of right now, part of the township.
So here in Thornton Township, when an elected official misses 5 consecutive meetings, they have the authority to somewhat remove and start the process, remove that person from office. However, because she only has 1 meeting left, Henyard, that is, they're questioning as to whether or not it's even worth it at this point. But one thing that is moving forward, that federal probe where federal agents are currently talking to past and current employees. Reporting live in Thornton Township tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS News, Chicago.
Thank you, Jermont.
Let's talk about the Township of Thornton. Now, Tiffany Henyard has lost her position, Township of Thornton. She's no longer supervisor, Township of Thornton. She's also not the mayor of Dalton anymore. She's lost both of those races in absolutely crushing style. She said that there was going to be Tiffany Henyard, Tiff, Tahoe Tiff. I haven't said that in a while. Tahoe Tiff, without the Tahoes, lost in a massive landslide. Massive landslide. And I have been predicting that Tiffany Henyard will not do any time. However, this story here, and that's why I'm covering it today, interests me. because the FBI has now stepped into Thornton Township. One of my first thoughts when I heard this storyline was, oh, okay, maybe funding from the Township of Thornton into Tiffany Henyard Tiff Cares or whatever it was called, the cancer charity. I know she cut a check or had a donation from Township of Thornton to her charity with her name on it that she later tried to deny and say, somebody's just using my likeness and everybody likes me, so they want to use my name on the charity. I don't know anything about that, even though there's all kinds of videos on her YouTube or her Facebook account about her doing the walkathon with her charity with Stan Brown. Don't ask me questions. I was just riding a bike on that trip. And you're like, yeah, but you were there supporting Tiffany Henyard. So my thought is FBI is waiting to close out Dalton. They've already got all those folks investigated, and now they're just kind of doing their final fishing expedition. So, what was your experience? What did you encounter? Did you see anything that caused concern? They're merely covering their bases for the Township of Thornton. That's what my first thought was. And then another thought is, well, maybe they've got something in Dalton and maybe they're going along the same exact lines. Overspending? Okay. All right. I just don't think they've got enough to pin Henyard with criminal charges. If I am wrong, I would love to be wrong on this one. I would love to be wrong. Because we're going to live stream that arrest. We're going to, whatever coverage there is of it. We will do that because you guys have been saying for literally years now, Tiffany Henyard's going to prison. I don't think she is, but I wouldn't be against it either. Because I think enough laws have been broken. I think there's been enough shenanigans. I think there's been enough illegal things that she probably should spend a little time or get a fine or whatever. But I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. In 2025, we're not really doing that. So is the FBI taking a look at Tiffany Henyard from the standpoint of Thornton Township? Is that a definite, well, game on, they're going to arrest her? No, I don't think so. I think this is, all right, we're going to do the final look through. We're going to do the final sift through all the details, the final interviews after the elections has happened. And because she was supervisor of Township of Thornton, I think they wanted to do that at the very tail end. That is my thought. But I've been known to be wrong before. I would love to be wrong on this one. I would. Yeah, we'll do some live streaming if that's the case. All right, we got a few more pieces to cover here. Nothing, nothing too super exciting, but the storyline just keeps on going with this woman. Tiffany Henyard skips Dalton meetings as controversial tenure nears quiet end. A month or two ago, whenever that elections was emailing with Critical Smoker. Follow him on YouTube, great channel. And he did a lot of live streams of stuff that, we're covering now. And he and I were emailing back and forth. And he said, word on the street is that Tiffany Henyard isn't going to attend a single meeting more. And he was 100% correct. Tiffany Henyard just hasn't showed up. That always stuck in the back of my mind is Henyard's not going to show up because she lost and she's a quitter. She's a loser. She's a quitter. And that's what quitters do. They just step out and then they blame society for their loss by saying, I'm a black woman and you don't respect me and racism and a bunch of other nonsense. When in fact, a black dude took a position in Dalton. It's like, hey, you're not doing your job or you're doing your job very poorly. So her not showing up, not a surprise. Not a surprise there whatsoever. Outgoing Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's name removed from outside Village Hall. Who else has a storyline by CBS News Chicago about their name being taken off a building other than Tiffany Henyard? Nobody else cares, but Tiffany Henyard branded herself. Now, I'm going to say something nice about Tiffany Henyard. If you can't say anything nice, don't say it at all. Well, I am going to say something nice here. She was really good at getting her name out there. I mean, phenomenal. And that's one of those things. Her branding, I mean, she's always been a really good self-promoter. Whether you don't like her, that's kind of the boat I sit in, or if you're one of the senior citizens that blindly follows her just no matter what, doesn't matter. I mean, she could run out and murder somebody and you guys would be like, I support Tiffany Henyard because of that completely blind vision that you have that Tiffany Henyard's our girl. She's the greatest thing ever since sliced whatever, sliced pie, cake, bread. I don't know, maybe sliced bread. But yeah, story here. Removed from outside Village Hall. Her name got taken down. I mean, that is how much people do not appreciate Tiffany Henyard doing her thing. I mean, that gets a multi-article story out of it. So here we go. House campaign on cleaning house after the small South suburban community gained the national spotlight with the antics, questionable spending, and federal probes surrounding the one-term Mayor Henyard. Yeah, who else gets multiple FBI probes other than a mayor who has really taken a village and a township in a wildly wrong direction? Henyard is the subject of a federal investigation, and her administration's spending was audited by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. We really didn't get crazy numbers out of Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Like when Lightfoot ended her report, I was like, that's it? That's it? There's just not enough in there to pin her with, you spent a bunch of money that wasn't yours on your own stuff. She overspent, but a lot of it was overspent on quasi-legit things like, oh, we had to take a trip to Portland, Oregon. And yeah, we had to take a trip to Vegas. And you know how that one went. You had to take a trip to Texas, and I forget where else she went. Had to have, 4 cops on her payroll all the time because everybody was gunning for her. Her safety was compromised. That stuff, okay, probably some aggressive spending. Is it enough? Is it enough to stick her with criminal charges? I don't think so. That's bottom line. I don't think so. And that's where I keep going back to. I think her career is OnlyFans. I hate to say it, it's OnlyFans. Because YouTube is a long, hard, tough pull. It's just, it's a lot of work and it's not overnight. And Tiffany Henyard has lost like $400,000 in annual income. Her boyfriend got booted from his non-job that he was doing. What was it? Violence prevention or something for $100K a year that he never did a thing on in Dalton. I think that's what his job was. And Tiffany Henyard with losing the supervisor, that was a $200,000 role a year plus. I think it was like $260,000. Then $100K or $50K or some damn thing from Village of Dalton. Between all those, salaries, she got nothing. She got nothing left. And everybody keeps saying she's living above the car wash. And just haven't seen much of her other than she did take a trip to LA. I think she's trying to get her career launched there. And that's why I keep saying, and I know other people agree with me, only career she's got going, which doesn't take a lot, is OnlyFans. Yeah, is that going to happen? I don't know. Stay tuned. This storyline, I'm no longer saying, this is probably the last one I'll ever do on Tiffany Henyard, because clearly it's not. We'll keep going until the very bitter end. I don't know when that is. 2030? Probably. I don't know. Make sure you subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.